Hey, we're here with Nico and Daniel from Filmatic, who are based out of South Africa. And we've also got Mark Dykes and Robert Crocker, myself, from Thermaflo. And we're just here to talk, introduce Filmatic and talk a little bit about Filmatic and who they are, and what equipment they manufacture.
We're now into our 41st year of operation, having started in 1979. How the company started was with a one model filler capper unit, semi-automated filling capping unit that was specifically designed for the dairy industry. And that machine that they started off with in 1979 is still in production today. Some of them running in Australia and New Zealand, I think. And
Wow.
We have now to date sold more than in excess of 1,700 of those machines. So Filmatic, born in the dairy industry, but obviously as we evolved over the last 10 to 12 to 15 years, we also expanded into other industries. The company has grown now. Currently, we do have 120 employees. That includes a range of machine builders, technicians, on-site or off-site technicians on the road to support customers. We have a design team of about 20 design engineers in-house. So we've got a fairly strong design capability, in-house design capability to support our machines.
So you guys started in the dairy industry. What other
Yes.
sort of food products have you guys got into with bottle filling?
The easy way for me to always answer that is when I say to somebody, if you walk into a shopping center and you look around you, anything that you see either in a bottle, plastic or glass, a pouch, a box, a glass jar, a squeegee bottle, a bottle with a cap on or a foil on, anything like that, we can manage to package.
So that includes all your juices, yogurts. I guess you do some tub fillers as well?
Yes, that's correct. So the tub fillers are actually currently one of our biggest sellers. And it's not always just used for yogurts. It's also used for other very high viscous products like cream cheese and that kind of product. Foil seal, overcap, snap lids, sort of any type of configuration that you require. We do on the tub fillers, yes.
You know, some of the projects that you deal with, are you just supplying into Africa, or you do supply into other countries around the world?
We see ourselves as an international company, and definitely into Africa is one of our biggest markets. But you know, in the last year only, as Nico also said, you know, we've been delivering to New Zealand, Australia, Sri Lanka, you know, the Seychelles, Mauritius. We have a machine heading to the States now as we speak. So yeah, we deliver on a regular basis to international waters.
What's the range of products you do? Obviously fillers, but you know, cappers, labelers. What's the range?
Obviously, our core focus, as you can imagine, if you look at our name, is Filmatic. But we don't just fill. We do our own range of labelers. You know, we've got debaggers, we've got end-of-line equipment. So it very much covers a turnkey solution.
So with your bottle fillers, what do you see as the advantage of your bottle fillers over some of your competitors?
One of the most important things is the fact that we were born in the dairy industry and been operating in the dairy industry for 40 years now. From a hygienic point of view, I do believe that there is no other machine to the likes of Filmatic bottle filler when it comes to hygiene standards and maintaining a clean hygienic profile on the machine. Typically, with our ESL, our extended shelf life equipment, we can achieve a log 4 reduction. And that is when you go boots and braces with HEPA filters, rinses, sanitizers, cap sanitizers, etc. One of the features that we are extremely proud of is the patented automatically adjustable torque capping heads that we have. So historically, when you had to do changeovers between different caps requiring different torque settings, it was strenuous exercise requiring tools, disassembling of the capping head, setting spaces, and so forth. Our design is a very simplistic design where you can literally by hand change the torque setting by pushing in a button, turning it to the required torque setting, and let it go. It takes you seconds to do that. And it's calibrated not from a number 1 to 10, but on torque setting. So you've got 1.1 Newton meters, 1.2, 1.3. It comes at a price, but to change over between caps and do different torque settings is absolutely brilliant. So our cappers run at the 99.8 or 99.9% machine efficiency.
That's actually a patented design, isn't it? You guys own the patent on that.
That's correct.
Yeah. No, I was very, very, very impressed with that head when I saw it. We'll actually do a sort of a feature on your capping systems. So that'll be really interesting to learn a little bit more about that in one of our follow-up videos. Equipment designed for the dairy industry already have a very high standard of cleanliness, and then Filmatic's assurance that their machines are so well designed for cleanliness. What's your sort of confidence levels on their machinery?
Well, one of the things I was quite impressed with was your unique CIP system, the reverse flushing. Because one of the intrinsic difficulties with fillers is cleaning of nozzles and cleaning of the fillers themselves. So maybe you could talk a little bit more about that, because that I think is quite an important part, being able to CIP that machine in place.
Certain specific components in the machine contributes to the hygienic standards that we can achieve. For argument, the filling bowl, the profile of the filling bowl is of such that when you drain the filling bowl, the entry points to the filling valves are at such a point where it's at the lowest level of the filling bowl. The rubber bellows that we use on the filling valves are also of such a design that when they are in a compressed position, meaning the valves are open, which you would have during the CIP process, the profile, inside the profile of the bellows is of such a nature that it provides an open and clean space for the CIP liquid to get into contact with every single crevice that you may find. Little things like that. And then in terms of practicality, there's options that we can offer the client, from a semi-automatic manually fitted manifold that you can do the reverse flow. For the first cycle, you run in one direction. Second cycle, you reverse the flow, run in a different direction. Or a fully automated CIP system where you have what we call lilies installed on the machine, where as part of the CIP process on the PLC, when you press the button, the machine will automatically, the lilies will open up, enter the filling valves from the bottom, open them up, and you can do your CIP process without literally laying a finger on your machine.
We've talked a lot about dairy, but talk to me about the other sort of products that you've done filling machines for.
We understand milk. We understand the basic principle and the characteristics behind milk. But in the last 4 years since I've been at Filmatic, we have done mayonnaise, peanut butter, tomato sauce, achar. I don't know if you guys know what achar is, but it's like a chutney, but it's with different spicy mango. So big pieces up to 12 millimeter in diameter. We've done honey, hand sanitizer, very, very
very common today. Yeah,
very topical. Yeah.
We've done cream, ice cream. One of the most interesting projects for me was where we did a range of products from cottage cheese to cream cheese on one machine.
I know that you guys have got a range of capping solutions. Can you give us a quick, broad overview of those?
The most common capping configuration that we deal with on a daily basis is your normal flat screw cap. Well, when I say flat, or sports cap probably, ranging from a 28 millimeter cap, which is your normal CSD type size cap, up to your 38 mil, which is typically on your dairy products, your larger size deck sizes. So for those typical applications, we've got a range of, first of all, your cap supply, meaning your cap unscrambler. So depending on the configuration, different configurations on one machine that's required, we can do a waterfall unscrambler, we can do a horizontal unscrambler, which will be typically used for your sports pull-out caps, or a vertical unscrambler for a second or a third type of flat screw cap. We used to do fly capping as well, and by fly capping, simple demonstration is you've got your caps coming down a chute, and you'll have your bottle coming past and picking up the cap, and then you'll have your capping head tightening it. But especially at high speeds, and especially when it comes to funny cap designs, which the marketing departments like to throw our way, we found it a bit unreliable. So we purely focus. 90% of the time we do pick and place capping. If you're running a machine, for argument's sake, our biggest machine is the 66 head N6 machine, which does 650 bottles per minute. To try and fly cap something like that is impossible. The accuracy that you need and require is just, you cannot do it. So pick and place is what we do. However, having said that, if you've got a line with glass jars with mayonnaise on it that's running at 10 tubs per minute, that's a complete overkill, and especially the metal caps then as well. So in that instance, we will typically do fly capping still, because it's slow, it's easy, it's a large cap, it's easy to fly cap that.
What's your presence in New Zealand and Australia? Have you got machines already installed? Thermaflo are your agents in New Zealand and Australia. So if a client wants to know more about your product, or wants to see one of your machines, what would you recommend they do?
The first point of contact would definitely be through Thermaflo. We do have some machines installed in Australia and New Zealand, mostly in the dairy industry, from what I know, and they've been here for quite a few years now as well. The guys can dial in, check the program, and see what the problem is. So there's various ways of getting the support to the customer as required.
We sold a 24 head filler into New Zealand, and Daniel was the project manager on that, and very successful. It was quite unique, that machine. It was a left to right or a right to left orientation instead of the normal.
The right to left.
And that is testament to how good your equipment is, and how well the relationship between us and yourselves work. As the client is very happy with his delivery. Commissioning is just about complete, and you guys have done all of that remotely. So hats off to you guys. You did really well there, and we're very pleased to have been able to sell that machine.